Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes. Le agradezco a Latin Express, a Cristian Valle, a todos que han quedado aquí. Everyone who waited for us to show up. I know you may not have waited for us. You had some great music, some amazing beer, some wonderful company out here with you tonight. But I gotta tell you what, we just survived a 2-hour traffic jam on I-30 West coming here. And all we could think about, beyond the fact of how badly we had to go to the bathroom, was how badly we wanted to see you and to be back in Fort Worth again. Every time we come here, you are so good to us. Everyone here has made us feel so hopeful, so grateful, so encouraged, so strong, so confident going into this election, because we know, as Cinto said, this one is on all of us, it is about all of us, and is by and for every single one of us. Republicans, you're in the right place. Democrats, you're in the right place. Independents, you're in the right place. All of us are in the right place at this moment of truth for our country, when everything that we care about is on the line. Certainly for those kids that Cinto's looking out for in those classrooms, those kids who, when they start kindergarten this week, need to know that that teacher is solely focused on them and their education and their ability to do better in life. Want to make sure that that teacher doesn't have to worry about holding down a second or third job because we aren't paying her enough to make ends meet. Want to make sure that that teacher can focus on those kids, teaching to them and not to a high stakes, high pressure, standardized test that might be good for the corporations and the big business that sponsors and writes them, but in no way adequately measures the progress of that student who's taken that test or the ability of that teacher who administers it. I want to make sure that for every retired teacher in the state of Texas who's gone without a cost of living adjustment in their retirement for 13 years, who just saw their cost of healthcare double in this last year, that they know that we too are grateful for their service and will put our money where our mouth is by making sure that they can live a life of dignity and are treated with the respect that they are owed. We in this campaign, and that's all of us in Texas and every single one of the 254 counties, and especially here in Tarrant tonight, we are not organized. We're not marshaling our forces against anyone, not against anything, not against another political party. We are here tonight for this country that we love so much, the United States of America. Before we are defined by any of the small differences that really, in my opinion, don't matter at this moment. You know, party or geography or race or ethnicity or who it is you love or who you pray to, or whether or not you pray at all, how long you've been in this country, whether you measure it by generations or whether you measure it by days. At this moment, let's remember that we're all together, first Americans, first Texans, first human beings before we are anything else. And we're gonna start acting that way. And we're gonna take everything that may disappoint us at this moment, that may be a challenge personally to us in our lives, and we're going to turn it to our advantage, and we're going to make it work not just for Texas, but for this country. Let me give you an example. You know full well that tonight, when we're enjoying a beer, we're enjoying some great music, we're enjoying one another, there are hundreds of kids who do not know when, do not know even if they're going to see their parents again. Kids who came here from the deadliest countries in the hemisphere, if not on the face of the planet, leaving brutality and death and violence with their parents to come to the front door of the United States of America at the Texas-Mexico border, seeking salvation and asylum and refuge and safety in this land that has offered all of those things to so many for so long, only to come here and to have that little child that they have risked everything, including their lives, for literally taken from them, in some cases literally taken from the breast of that mother who's been with them for the last 2,000 miles, the last 4 weeks on foot, if they're lucky, on top of, but certainly not inside of a train, surviving every manner of depredation, surviving those who prey on human misery, and coming here to this country. And tonight, sent back to Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, no ability to get in touch with that child. All of you who came out to the desert in Tornillo, Texas, to bear witness in that tent city where they were warehousing hundreds of those kids, and stepped up the pressure on our government, which is us in a democracy, to ensure that we never again take another child from another parent. And that partial success in ensuring that this administration has stopped this inhumane, this cruel torture that we've inflicted on our fellow human beings. Tonight, we must commit ourselves to ensuring that every child who is still not with that parent be reunited as soon as possible, without delay, and that we never again do this in this country, and we replace the profound disappointment that we have in what this country has done in our name. Though it was a decision of one man, that is a stain that spreads to all of us until we make it right. Not only do we end family separation and indefinite detention, not only do we free dreamers from the fear of deportation and make them U.S. citizens today, but we also, as the most diverse state in the most diverse country in the world, we are the ones, together, Republicans and Democrats and independents, who lead the way in rewriting our immigration laws in our own image, to reflect who we are, to reflect our values, our interests, the lives that we have led, and the lives of those in our lives. In much the same way that we approach the issue of health care. We were just in Houston, and we went to the Harris County Jail. As a visitor, I was free to go at any point. It's a joke. While I work on my timing, you consider this. The Harris County Jail, 10,000 inmates, is the largest provider of mental health care service in the state of Texas today. More than a quarter of those inmates are prescribed at least one psychotropic medication. The Harris County Jail has more inpatient mental health care beds than all of the public mental health care hospitals in the state of Texas combined. Right now, people get arrested so that their schizophrenia, their bipolar disorder, their depression, they're uninsured, it has gone untreated. They are so desperate, the suffering has become so great that their only option is to get arrested on purpose, where they know they will be seen and taken care of. We have school teachers in this state, in the wealthiest, the most powerful country on the face of the planet, who are succumbing and dying from the flu. Now, they may have insurance, they may have health care, but they may not have the $119, which is the copay on the flu medication. In this country, whose taxpayers have paid for the research and innovation into the cures and the medications that are sold back to us at the highest prices on the planet. We should be the ones in a state that understands the consequence of the uninsured better than anyone else, not just the moral failing of allowing people to live lives that are far shorter and diminished than they otherwise would have been. A state that allows suffering on an unprecedented scale right now. But this is a state that understands when you are well enough to finish your education, well enough to go to work, well enough to rock out in a band and write your song and share it with the rest of the world, all of us are better for your ability to be well enough to do what you're supposed to do in your life. That's why Texas will lead on universal, guaranteed, high-quality health care for every child, for every woman, for every man, in every single community in this country. Texas